Hey, what's up, everybody? You tuned in to another episode of Strategic Moves Radio Show with Dr. Heather Burton and Kenn Dowell. I'm your host, Kenn Dowell. I am your host, Kenn Dowell, and today we're here with our last show of the year. And this is going to be our last show for 2025. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone that's out there who's listening to us and following us on all our social media platforms and things of this nature and being a part of what we got going here at Strategic Moves Radio Show. Now, I'm comfortable now. We were just having a couple of malfunctions, so we're going to start that over again. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're all back and settled now. Y'all heard me. That was my little stall intro. We was having a little technical difficulties, but we are back. So I want to again thank you for watching, and you tuned in to the Strategic Moves Radio Show. I'm your host, Kenn Dowell, and Dr. Heather Burton is the co-host of this radio show. We've been doing it right here on WOVU every Tuesday on 95.9 FM, and we want to thank you all for tuning in. Dr. Burton, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm having some malfunctions over here myself.
Yeah.
I only have sound in one ear, but I don't know what's happening today. So,
it's the last show of the year. We made it through it.
We
So,
made it.
we gonna
Yes.
figure it all out as we go. We have our co-host in here today also who's going to talk a little bit with us as we open up our program. We got Pastor Aaron Phillips. He's here the end of the year to bring his wisdom and hopefully
I don't have to do no black girl clap on Pastor Phillips today.
This is our. I was saying I got your buddy here. So he's here to make sure he keeps you riled up and keep you ready to go as always. And we got Unicorn. She's our engineer, and she helped us out all year long and keeping things together and keeping us updated with what's going on in the neighborhood, because there's a lot of things that's always going on in the neighborhood, and she's been part of our team to help us make this thing successful. We have Liberty. If you guys are listening to us on social media, and following us on social media, Liberty is manning our comments and all of our things of that nature, and she will make sure she gets your comments up on the screen so that you'll be able to be a part of this discussion. And last but not least, we have DJ True. His name is Lateef. He used to be a DJ. Now he has a company. It's called Schoolhouse Production. His name is Lateef Hughes. So if you guys need to know, that's his name, Lateef Hughes.
My name, don't worry.
And he is the guy who puts together all of the camera and lights, action, and stuff for us to be able to kind of get through this. And we are the team that helps make up this wonderful program and this wonderful network that we all are part of. And I want to thank everybody from watching and bearing with us as we got through this year. And so we're going to get started on our program. So, Doctor.
Yes, Ken.
How are you feeling today?
I am feeling good. But it's amazing. It's the end of the year already. I know. It's like 2 weeks left, and 2025 is over.
It's over that quick.
It's over. And so much has happened in 2025 based on the current administration.
Jeez, that's
I won't go down that road.
Yeah, that's a
But
whole
I have to say this. I'm so tired of this man calling black women low IQ. Like
no, he's crazy.
It's just taking me to another level.
His last thing was the Rob Reiner thing. He got up there and he want everybody to cry and go through all of this stuff for Charlie Kirk.
Right, but then you get up there and say the ignorance that you say about Rob Reiner.
I mean, I just can't understand this guy and how America is strong and is powerful and is everything we supposed to be, actually allowing this guy to be our leader.
It's so much hypocrisy.
I just don't get that. I don't get it. So we're going to get started on our program today because we got a segment that we're going to start off today because the theme of this program is going to be called You Can't Be Smart and stupid at the same time.
Before we get into that, I want to say this just to our listening audience and to everyone. There's been a lot of loss in 2025. And so sending prayers, hugs, and love to people who have lost loved ones, whether through natural health, whether it's through other things, but specifically those who have lost loved ones to murder, domestic violence, is sending love and wrapping our arms and remember them this holiday season. Remember their families this holiday season. Don't let it go by that we aren't. Just send a text message, because after the funeral, people seem to disappear. And so just encouraging, send a text message to those that you know who have lost folks this year.
I think that's awesome. Pastor, what you say before we go?
I just praying against all this violence that we've been seeing across the world and the country, and even here in our own city. People who have been murdered and shot from 93rd to the bus stops. Then you talk about what happened at Brown University, where my youngest daughter graduated from, and then even in Australia, just the violence that's happening. And I think it's very much tied to the current world leadership. And so we're just praying against that.
Unicorn, you got something you want to say to the people? We're going to take, after Unicorn, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be doing our segment on you can't be smart and stupid at the same time. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a lot to say. It's been a lot going on just in general for 2025. This has definitely been a historical year, and I'm looking to unpack it after this short break for sure. Trey Songz was arrested, and Trey Songz is like my generation's R. Kelly before all the stuff came out, right? Trey Songz is beloved, and so when it came out that he was urinating on ladies,
Good Lord.
I
don't know how we got
I used the right
arrested.
words. I used the right words.
You did use the right words.
Yeah, my
And
goodness.
didn't he just hit somebody at a club or something like that?
So I want prayers to Trey Songz, man.
Prayers to Trey Songz.
And the victims. I don't really consider them victims though, because I mean some of them.
Because they asked to be.
Let me reach out of that because y'all gonna come for me. Hold on.
Yeah, they gonna come for you.
Some of them were paid participants.
Oh, you sounded like
and
P. Diddy.
others were actual victims.
Oh, that sounds
now,
like our
how
man.
to distinguish between the two is always kind of hard because a lot of times these ladies look the same, they carry themselves the same, they're in the same professions. It's hard to tell the two.
Look at Eric.
But we are not going to victim blame. What, Pastor? What?
We will not be accused of victim blaming
We
here.
will
We are not victim
Oh,
blaming.
Jesus. Take a break. When we come back,
Take a break on
we're going to talk about you can't be smart and stupid at the same time. I don't know if we should have Uni working the keys on that one.
You can't be smart and stupid at the same time. Oh my God, did they think that was a good idea? Like seriously, how do they manage to do both? We're diving into smart ideas, dumb moves, and everything in between.
Happy holidays, everybody in Cleveland. This is Council Member Richard A. Starr of Ward.
What's up, Cleveland? It's time to turn up the conversation. Tune in to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell radio show for What's on Your Mind Tuesdays. Call in, comment, and connect on WOVU 95 FM, WOVU.org, and hit us up on social media. Let's go. What's up, Cleveland? It's time to turn up the conversation. Tune in to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell radio show for What's on Your Mind Tuesdays. Call in, comment, and connect on WOVU 95 FM, WOVU.org, and hit us up on social media. Let's go. What's up, Cleveland? It's time to turn up the conversation. Tune in to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell radio show for What's on Your Mind Tuesdays. Call in, comment, and connect on WOVU 95 FM, WOVU.org, and hit us up on social media. Let's go. What's up, Cleveland? It's time to turn up the conversation. Tune in to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell radio show for What's on Your Mind Tuesdays. Call in, comment, and connect on WOVU 95 FM, WOVU.org, and hit us up on social media. Let's go. What's up, Cleveland? It's time to turn up the conversation. Tune in to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell Radio Show for What's on Your Mind Tuesdays. Call in, comment, and connect on WOVU 95 FM, WOVU.org, and hit us up on social media. Let's go.
Get started on our program today. We're going to do a quick thing to go around the community and see what's going on in the neighborhood, any news that we need to talk about and that kind of thing. If there's something that you got on your mind that you want us to talk about today, you can always call, be able to chime in by leaving us a comment on all of our social media platforms. We are fully up on all our platforms right now, so it shouldn't be that hard for you to be able to do that. You can leave a comment and we'll make sure we get it on the screen and we actually will say it. We're going to go around the room because today's title is You Can't Be Smart and Stupid at the Same Time. And I want to get started with the first person who I want to go ahead and put into this category. We're going to talk about the coach from Michigan.
Oh, that's a good one. Sherron Moore. That's a good
Moore.
one.
He made the list, the first one, because of Sherron Moore and all of the craziness that was going on and stuff like that. We were having some discussion off air about it, and we believe the true reason why it all came out was because he lost to Ohio State.
What a conspircy.
I believe
that's a real conspiracy.
I'm telling you, that stuff is real down there.
It is now. I mean, you know, I am a Buckeye.
Yeah. Now, so you know that
I am
real.
a Buckeye, and it is real.
It's real. Now, if he would have won that game, he might have got a pass. But instead he didn't. And the reason why he make it into that category is because he follows a long tradition of other brothers who like to go out there and do that same type of stuff. We brought Dr. Umar in this year.
And get they snow bunnies.
Oh, there it is. He went out and got him one, and that's what ended up getting him immortal. Matter of fact, he got two of them is what really got that brother into trouble that he got into. So I want to say we're going to put him in that category.
Now, what did he do smart? Because you said you got to be smart and stupid at the same time.
He became coach of Michigan. He was able to get that job.
He was able to get $30 million.
Yeah.
But, you know.
30. I thought he was getting $5 million a year. But that's still pretty smart.
But the contract, you talk about his entire contract.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, is I think, and I know, you know, there are clauses like this everywhere, and that's where I look at you was just stupid. Because first of all, you know, you had a clause. Right. Now, I know at my previous institution, the clause is that I got to remember. I think supervisor and employee is a completely different relationship that should never happen in a work environment.
Right.
But there was a clause that if you had a relationship with anyone on campus, you needed to report it. You need to make it known. And in his case, you a supervisor.
That's correct.
Like you a supervisor having a relationship. Forget her demographics. Forget anything. The stupidity of you being a supervisor having a relationship with an employee, you done.
Yes.
And then you want to give her that type of raise.
Agreed.
Yeah. He put himself in a very bad position in doing that because of the fact that, as I was telling Lateef earlier, it's in the clause of the book. So it's one thing that you go around and say, oh, you could have got a pass because he was this and that. Nah, it was pretty spelled out pretty clear.
Yeah,
right.
It's clear as day. And if it was a matter that you just wanted to do something outside of what you had so many other options.
You had so many other options.
Yes.
You never do that where you eat.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, I always tell people as a pastor, and pastors, I make sure we got the folks know I'm not here to try to sleep with women. I'm definitely not going to sleep with any woman inside my church. But I don't do that. Period. And that is really just really stupid because if he would have had a relationship with anybody else outside of the campus, they wouldn't have anything on him. And so I was trying to figure. I guess it is smart that he became the coach of Michigan, and that was because he was the assistant coach to Jim Harbaugh. And so that was smart in his part. But I was very disappointed in him because those are premium jobs. And black men don't get opportunities like that. So when you get an opportunity like that and you mess it up, you don't just mess it up for yourself, but you mess it up for all brothers who are in that profession, and particularly and because they look at it that way. And that's just the world that we live in. So that was very, very stupid on his part.
Yeah, because what they don't, and this is what it's hard for us to accept, but the reality is when they see us as a whole.
Absolutely.
They don't see us as individuals.
Absolutely.
So no matter what we do, you represent the entire black community.
Right.
And
It's a
everybody
heavyweight, but
right
it's the
now
truth.
is like, see, there go another
Right.
athlete with them 2 white women.
That's right. And I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, because we get the reason why we fight the way we fight to advocate to get in these positions is not for somebody to go up there and get a snow bunny. That is just ridiculous to me, and I can't stand that we have beautiful black
Say it
women
again,
that
Pastor.
should be a part of you getting that $5 million, because then that helps build wealth in our community. It's a whole thing, and we really should. I didn't know that he had a white woman. I said, listen, his first strike was he married a. I probably shouldn't say that on the air.
Say it. It's
that he married a white woman. But I have daughters. I mean, I feel this way. I have a sister. And I really feel that way. And it's a shame that athletes and coaches, they get that big salary and then they go get someone from the enemy to come into camp. I can't stand it.
Pastor bringing the heat
Right,
today.
right.
Jesus, tell us how you truly feel. Hey, you know what though? He was following a long line of tradition of athletes and brothers in 2020.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was talking about.
Who
Yes.
followed that same road. Because when we also mention him, we can't go without saying my man, Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe started
Yeah.
out the year.
Yeah, you're right.
He
As
started
the
it
first
out.
one, being smart.
What they
Brought
call
Cat
it?
Williams
I've been
on
watching the Sharp Effect.
the Sharpe effect.
The Sharp Effect.
He brought Cat Williams on, which made him very smart. Had a good podcast that was doing very well. Everybody looked at Shannon Sharpe, showed everybody how you could really make money at YouTube and all of this, because Shannon was getting paid all over the place from that one Cat Williams episode that came on. But also Shannon Sharpe was stupid. Again. Now, some would say because of the snow bunny, and we always, what? All right.
Keep going.
Because of the snow bunny effect and all the other things. But what really made him kind of in the position he was in was the age of the young lady that he was dealing with and the type of relationship they were having as well. And I think that is one of the reasons what makes Shannon Sharpe not smart in the case of what he was doing. Very smart at getting it done, very smart at getting the bag, very smart at branding himself to being who he was and all the other necessary things that you needed to do, which was really
And
good.
he was always giving advice to people.
Always giving great
giving
advice to people.
Good advice.
And all of that.
But he just
You
took it on
know,
his own.
we ain't gonna ignore Ken's phone continually to ring out loud. Like, sorry,
Well,
I don't understand why.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
I'm
since
in
you
the
said
same
something,
place
Dr. Burton.
every Tuesday. At the
No.
same time. And
Well,
it seems
here's
like
the
the same
thing.
person called me every Tuesday at the same time.
They
Just-
must want
But,
you. They
but
must want
Ken,
you to
we
come on
can't
your
blame
show.
the people calling you.
More
More so than there's a feature that's called Vibrate in silence.
I just got it. Y'all don't understand. I'll turn my phone off or the vibrate thing, and it'll stay that way. And I'll be going my day, because if I don't pay attention, it ain't happening.
It ain't coming back on.
Well,
It
that's
ain't
why
coming
you
back
need
on.
an assistant to remind you to turn your phone on. The radio show's over with.
Liberty, you got a new job.
There you go. There you go. That's what I was alluding
Trying
to.
to keep up with
You
what
picked
you
up
got
what I
going.
was dropping there, Dr. Burton. Thank you.
So let's go back to Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
So we on this Shannon Sharpe situation. You know, Shannon was
What
one
was
of
her
those
age? I can't remember her age because the video
Wasn't
that
she
I seen was,
something-
I mean,
you
people was
19, 20. She was young, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Barely legal.
Yeah, I think she was
oh,
barely.
she's like 19, 20.
Yeah,
that's barely legal.
Yeah, she was very. She was younger than his daughters, or
Yeah,
just as young
that's
as his
bad. Yeah,
daughter. I
that's
think it was
bad.
something to that
That's
effect. And when we say it's stupid, it sort of spent his whole thing around now. Now
Yeah.
you look at his show before where he was really getting those big guests and bringing folks on and really doing well. He's still getting better guests, and he's still getting a lot of folks that most people still can't. But it sort of threw him in a whole nother light, and it's not like he can't get out of it. It's just gonna take some time
yeah.
before he dig himself, continue to build out that hole. So I would throw him in that category as well.
Absolutely. Correction, she was 20 years old when they started the relationship.
Yeah, young girl.
Blech.
And how long did it last?
The relationship lasts nearly 2 years.
So she was 22 when
Wow.
it ended.
Wow. I couldn't imagine, because I think Shannon may be the same age as I am. I couldn't imagine being with a 20-year-old person. Just, I mean, you can't even have a conversation. You can't. I mean, 20 and
well, he wasn't trying to have no conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he really
but still, I have a granddaughter.
I
My
didn't think
granddaughter
they ever said they were having any conversation, and none of the footage.
Well, but when you're,
they didn't base it on intellect.
I don't think you ought to get it when you're this age. You don't get it for. It's not just physical. It's also about.
No,
the
you
mental.
ain't getting what
Yeah, it
Shannon's
is.
saying.
Yeah.
Shannon said that's all it was.
Speak for yourself.
Pastor, you speaking from your lens.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to step out of your
That's what I'm
lens.
saying, and I
brother.
will tell you,
No.
I'm sure he totally regrets that because when you're that age, you're supposed to know better.
But
And
how
I'm saying,
much
I
does he
will
regret
bet you.
it?
I think he regret he got caught.
I doubt that he regretted that. I bet you he got another snow bunny in his basement right now. I doubt he regrets it that much. Because men in that caliber and that age,
That's a good point.
They don't
I would agree
learn.
with. I agree with Uni. Is that I bet you
I
he
would
got.
hope so.
Because
I would hope that he would have learned. That's what I would.
he might have learned
would've.
not to have a 20-year-old, but
That's
she
what I
probably
said.
about 30 now.
Yeah, right.
Still white.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
And you know what you never notice, and I'm going to say this. You have to really search to think about a sister who has done that to a brother, who has sued a brother over some. When sisters break, it's over with. They ain't try to come back and file a lawsuit and all that kind of stuff. That's very rare, but you always will see a white woman who's with a successful black man.
Well,
you will see
I
that on a
also
regular
think
basis.
so. That's loaded, and the reason I'm gonna say that it's loaded is because one thing that happens to sisters is it's very hard for people to believe us.
And it's a cultural difference in general. White people be quick to sue in any
Right?
anything.
Yes, that's my
Anyway.
point.
But even when we
That's why
go
I
forward,
agree.
when we
I
go
agree.
forward, it's people
Exactly.
have a tendency not to put black
That's
women
true.
as victims,
That's
and
true.
so
That's true.
you usually
Yeah.
are
In
fighting
any sense.
In
Yeah.
any
That's
sense.
true. That's true.
And you look at the case. Let's
No,
be
that's true.
honest. You've been a lawyer.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking
and-
about Anthony Sowell and all those women.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Well,
Mike.
all those
that is black women's voices are very hard to be magnified in those situations.
Well,
as well.
and-
That is
and-
a
but
very
then
true
we also
statement.
think
But I
about
think
the
that's different than
context.
what I was talking about. But you're absolutely true.
But
right.
you think about the context, though, is that it's in these, especially when you talk about professional athletes or just
Right.
black men
There
in
you go.
general.
Right.
It's easy for white women to be the victim because we just look at history in general.
Right.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
they can cry whatever.
Speaking
And
of,
Right.
what'd you say?
I said, speaking of, go ahead and finish
Right.
that thought. I got the list up. Ronnie
That-
Long, the Groveland 4, Emmett Till, Martinsville 7. We could go on and on and on and on about our black men who have been accused of something they were nowhere near where these white women said they were.
Right.
And they ended up serving majority of their lives in prison. And getting
Oh, some
exonerated
of them
in
did.
2000s.
Some of them
Their
did.
whole
We
life
talk about
is
murder.
gone.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say and I think what Burton was going also is that
Until
it's
Uni's passion.
Oh, that's the uni effect. She
Sorry.
just loaded. Her meter just went up.
Right.
to 100.
Right. We need to get a meter for Uni. We need a meter.
100. But what we're saying is, if I was an attorney and a white woman walked in, let's just start from the beginning. A woman walks in and she says that she was dating a pro athlete and XYZ happened. I'm going to probably take the case because if it's a good person they're suing or athlete, I know that it's possibly we're going to get some money. But if it's a white woman and she's suing a black person, not just because I'm, being racist or anything. I'm just looking at the history and the fact that I know that that's a case that can easily be won.
Ken, we got a great example right here in front of us. Deshaun Watson. Perfect example of that.
Deshaun Watson was getting happy endings.
Exactly.
And his
but and
book
all of
belongs
those,
on
and all
that
of those,
list as well.
all of his accusers were white women.
Well, that's
my
what he
point.
was messing with.
That's my point.
But that's all he was messing with.
And
because I bet you,
some of
if
them,
it was
and I
a
bet you
sister
some
who
of them.
knew they was doing that line and they were getting paid the way Deshaun was, she would have been in line with them. He didn't do nothing but mess with white women.
But that's what most elite athletes are surrounded by. Even our youth ones that are going into college and NCAA, is that the college
NCAA.
basketball?
NCAA.
Thank you. I don't know sports. But even with them, they go to all predominantly white schools. So our young men end up marrying white women again. And it's just like this cycle of our black athletes being surrounded and marrying and entangling with white women. And that is what they wanted. That's what they want.
Well, it's
First of all,
always
for
been
their
the whole
DNA.
Yeah, and the
We
concept
bringing up
of
their go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
DNA.
go
But
ahead.
also the
I feel like
concept of
take that and run with it because you got that.
but it's the concept of the white trophy wife.
Yes.
Is that to get a white woman, historically it was looked at as achievement because
Yes,
that
true.
was the white woman is that norm. This is the standard of womanism. This is the standard of femininity. This is the standard of beauty. And so when they get them, they get it in this space of this is the norm and I have achieved because this is what I have. Now, there are some black men, and I've had conversation with younger black men who have a fear of black women. Yeah, because they think that black women are too strong, and so they know this passiveness from white women that they can get that allows them to do whatever they want to do.
That's some
Black
weak
women
black
don't
men.
learn trad wife traits
That's some black,
like
them
white
some,
women
them some
do.
weak black
Yep.
men.
I just had a
sure
conversation
is.
with
Yeah, I
somebody
didn't-
today.
There's some
I
weak
just-
black
That's some
men.
weak. Yeah, they are.
I never understood
Well,
the
and
brother
it's
who said
also-
they got a problem with a woman making more money than them, being
Oh,
better
yeah.
than them. I'd
That's
be
a
like, y'all
reality.
just don't understand.
That's a reality. That is such a reality. And you know, I remember I just shared this with somebody the other day, and we're not gonna get on this subject, but how often I had to have conversations like dating people who say somebody who had a PhD, it always turned into a debate on the date of them trying to prove that they were smarter than me. This is a
Really?
reality. Yeah, this is a reality
Some
of
dumb
there
brothers. I
are some
don't-
brothers who are. And because of, I always say, because of experiences growing up, lived experiences that shapes them and puts them in a different category. You
Well,
would be
if
surprised.
I think if you've been raised by a mean old black woman,
Why she got to be mean and old?
because you're a young black man. Now she old and mean. Chances are you ain't trying to find no mean old black woman or mean young black woman. And
Yeah.
you're probably looking for somebody who will listen to you because you was told what to do all your life and pushed around. And I don't think it becomes a white or black thing. I think it just becomes a person. Sometimes black women, and I would say it, they be competing so hard to get their space in the place, and sometimes when it comes down to African American males, we're in the same space, whether it's education or whatever, and that competition of trying to get to the top leads to that kind of, you know what, I don't feel like being in competition with nobody. It kind of spills over, I think, and therefore they look at that and say, you know what, I don't want no woman that's that way. I want somebody who's going to listen to me. And I think that's where a little of that comes from. I don't think that's the norm, but I think that's it. And then I think it's the women who does achieve that certain status where a brother can take a woman who hasn't achieved a certain status, bring her in, and hopefully bring her in as his wife, his mate, and build with that. A woman won't take a brother unless he's at a certain status. And I think that's the issue that happens.
A lot
Man, I
of
don't
women these
believe-
days
I
don't
can't
have a
believe-
choice to take a brother that's not.
No,
on-
everybody got choice.
But
Everybody
here's the
got
thing.
choice. Everybody
and
got
so
a choice.
this is the thing. We can't date based on potential. And I always tell people that.
Right.
Is because potential you can't change people based on potential.
No.
But there's a difference where you can see somebody trying to strive to do better.
But sometimes
And so-
that ain't good enough for black women.
But it depends. That ain't good enough for most women. I ain't even gonna
Yeah.
categorize that by race.
Yeah.
well,
But I'm gonna say-
for most
But
women.
here's the thing.
Exactly.
It
Okay,
depends
for most
on where
women.
you are.
Right.
And it also depends on it depends on where you are, and then it also depends on where that person is. Because you cannot have everything is not about money.
That's correct.
So there are people who don't date based on money.
Men
There are
don't
others who-
men don't date based on money.
Some do.
I don't. I mean, let me
do.
split it this
You
way.
don't even
no,
date.
Wait, this is what I mean.
Wait,
That's not what I wanted to say. That's not what I wanted to say. That's not what I wanted to say.
Don't
That's not
tell
what I
on
wanted to say.
yourself on
No,
this good old show here.
no. That's not what I wanted to say.
They said, don't get
What
me
I
in
wanted to
trouble.
say
Don't
was
get yourself in trouble.
no.
When you dated 5,000 years ago.
When I dated, no, hold on. Now to give y'all a true story, when I met my wife, when I met her, the reason why we hooked up was because I think I was on the podcast about to say the wrong word because my situation wasn't as bad as her situation. She was in a much better situation than I was. Financially, mentally, everything. She had her whole stuff together. And my stuff, I was on the verge of coming back from failed business and getting my stuff together. So when I met her, I was on that. I was like, I like her, and I was attracted to the fact that she had all her stuff together, and I was like, she gonna help me get my stuff together. So that's why I say to me, it was different. That's why I say some people might look at it differently, but in the case I was, no, that wasn't. It was the exact opposite.
But I think what you said is both of y'all made each other better.
Right.
So it wasn't like she was like, I don't want to use this, dependent upon you, and you weren't dependent upon her.
No, I was dependent upon her.
But y'all made each other better.
That's right.
Like
I was dependent
it
upon
wasn't
her.
like you was sitting on the couch
No,
playing
it
video
was-
games.
I did that
That
for a
part.
little while too.
And I bet you she said, you better get your...
No, she bought the video game. But I'm just making fun of it. But that's how you go. That was a long time, and that's 30 years of marriage. So that's like
And so
evolving.
you think
everything
about
else,
your
right.
age 30 years ago, too.
Right, exactly.
See,
That's what I'm saying. 30 years ago was
so
totally
dating, age and dating
Yeah.
or meeting is differently.
Right.
But back to our conversation of being smart and stupid.
We told everybody we rambling today,
right,
y'all.
we just
So
hijacked,
we just hijacked the conversation
dating.
today, y'all.
But I think, there are, what people don't realize, though, is that there are black women who have achieved and who have that they want to come home and let a man lead.
Yes.
And folks
Yes.
don't.
Yes.
But
I
a lot
believe
of
that.
but
I
a
believe
lot of
that's
men
true.
don't
I believe
realize that.
That's
I
true.
believe
That's
Y'all
true too.
y'all been married.
I believe
True.
that.
Both of those things are true.
I know. I
So
believe
you
that.
get it.
I totally
but
believe
single
that.
men who have never been married and who are driven, a lot of
Well,
times they don't.
you know
get
what I
that.
think the problem. I was raised by a man, and I think sometimes that has a lot to do with it. And I thank God for all the single women who had to raise their boys and all that. But you really, I am shocked to hear you say there are men who don't want to find a strong black woman, because I was raised to find one.
Well,
I
they
had one in my house. I had a sister. I was at church. I was surrounded by strong black women, and I knew. And I think a lot of times, some of these young boys, what Uni was talking about, who go to different cultures for professional reasons, and then you actually see there are white young girls who actually go there to find those young brothers. So we got to put something in our boys before they even go there to know, wait a minute, I'm somebody. My black race matters, and I'm not going to change because I go into another culture. So we need to kind of tell that story, because there are plenty. I was watching Debbie Allen and Norm Nixon the other day. They celebrated their anniversary. I think it's been 35 years.
At least.
So they're at least. And remember, Norm Nixon was a L.A. ball player, and Debbie Allen's so there are plenty of ball players who know how to make those right decisions and stay in those long-term relationships. So we need to I think it's important for us to at least say something about that, because
Yeah, like LeBron and
there are some black men who understand to choose the right, because Debbie Allen, strong black woman, Norm Nixon, and they stay together. So I think it can work. It does happen, and we need to mention that.
Let me ask you and Unicorn a question. What's the definition of a strong black woman? Because everybody throw that out. Oh, that man don't want a strong. When you say a strong black woman, what you call a strong black woman?
Ken, I might let Uni answer this question, because that's something that I'm trying to relabel and relabel for mental health reasons. Is that definition of people putting strong on black women,
right,
then causes black women to think that they have to carry a burden and carry everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Talk about
that's
what about
saying.
the joke? Talk about carrying family, friends, work, everything, and so in that. I've been in a space, and that's been 2025, where I really have been trying to reshape or relabel this definition of the strong black woman, because it's killing us.
Right,
it's killing us.
Right, and I think when a brother hear that, it's like, what you mean strong black? Because if it means you strong, it kind of makes me feel like, well, then I have to be weak.
Right.
But when we think about when that notion and that term became popularized in our culture, what was going on simultaneously as well? Crack epidemic. men not being in the home. So it forced black women.
There was just as many women on crack as it was men not in them homes now. Yeah. So you said
I'm
men
not
not
saying
in their
only
home.
men was out here doing crack. That's not what I'm saying. But I am
men
saying,
were only on crack.
Men, crackhead men.
there was a lot of women who were definitely out here doing crack, who were selling
Yes.
their children for crack,
Yes.
who were doing unspeakable things for
Yes.
crack.
Yes.
Yes, crack hit everybody, every sex and every color. But in the black community,
It tore us up.
it tore
It
us
got us.
up.
Yes,
It
yes.
tore us up, and that's what it was meant to do. It tore us up. And when I think about just the term of strong black women, that is, I can't help but to go to that time period in America where people were really not understanding what was happening. Yes, you're getting this stipend from the government, but you can't have a man in the home at all.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
you can get this drug, but you're not going to want to do nothing after you do it. It was so many variables that was placed in our communities that separated the family unit in general. And so when you think about, that's where I start to think about strong black women and what that actually means, where it came from, and just a woman that's willing to do anything for her family. And again, like you said, Doc, it's killing us.
It's killing.
let
And
me
here's
ask
the
you
thing.
That's
I was gonna
confuses
ask-
before
me
we get
because
into
when
that,
I
let
think
me ask
about a
another
strong black
question.
woman,
Oh.
I think about Harriet Tubman.
Well,
I
that's-
think
that's-
about all the
that's it in the
so
same.
I think about women like that, and I don't.
But
think,
how many times
so I
has somebody
understand what you're
said
saying, that
Harriet
has now
Tubman?
become a
Well, hold on.
double-edged
That's why I want to
sword.
get to that.
That's
Let me ask the
that's-
next question to that, because there's a part 2 to that question. Because we established the fact, strong black woman, in your mind, strong black woman sounds like, to me, a woman who's doing what a woman is supposed to do. I saw strength in that, but I get it, right? On your end, Doc, you says that you want to kind of shape that a little bit because the word strong may be a little intimidating. And to men, and I agree, because when I hear strong black woman, what that mean, because that's why I'm asking. And to you, you don't want the burden of having that, in some cases, that. So let me ask the question the other way. What makes a strong black man? And can a man be looked at, and could we go with the term and say, I want a strong black man?
I would say an old school man, a man like my daddy, a
Does-
man
is
that
that a
took care of
strong
the
black
family.
man?
That
And
is,
does
to me,
the man, being black men or men, should carry the stigma of strong black man?
No.
Because of what's going on. So you saying
Yeah.
he shouldn't have the burden either?
I
And
don't
how
think
many
so
times? And the
either.
thing is, how many times have you heard a strong black man?
No, we haven't.
We haven't, and that's
So
we gotta
why
ask-
should we have a
so
strong black
but
woman?
that's
What's
the
the
thing.
difference?
But that's because that's a label that is put on black women who are seen as,
Okay.
for example, the pastor said, Harriet Tubman, women who are doing things to accomplish or achieve, whether it's for community work, whether it's individual work, whether it's for their family. We and here's the thing: we label it as if it's not a norm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we
You're
label
right.
women
That's what
who
I'm
are
saying.
actually because let's
That's what I'm
back
saying.
up.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's back up.
That's what I'm saying.
Is historically what was the role of women? To be home, based on white culture, is to be home, domesticated, raising kids. And so
I think that's on every culture.
and so when you step out, well, we wasn't given the option to be.
I mean, even when
domesticated.
you go back there in Africa and you look at
Well,
where they
yeah,
are,
we
and
go back, but I'm talking about slavery.
It
I'm
depends
talking
on
about
what tribe you pulled up on.
I'm talking about, and then when we talk about slavery, it wasn't no option of being domesticated.
Oh no,
and
they
being at
took
home or
that
being in
from
the
us.
kitchen.
Right? No, that
Yeah.
was done. That was
But
done.
but when
Yeah.
you look at that, and when you look at this normalized view of what black women were, or this idea of what a woman is when we stepped outside of that normalized view, then we became labeled as strong. Because stepping outside of that normalized view, now she's the strong woman, and that label of strong goes because she divides, is normalized gender, normalized patriarchy. And so
Okay.
this is what happens, and you get that label of strong. But when you try to maintain that label of strength, couple things happen. Everybody on the outside now looks at you as a strong black woman, and nobody's catering or caring about what's really happening internally. What are you really dealing at home? Because outside, everybody's like, oh, she's strong. She can handle it. She got it. And nobody's saying, wait, let me check on my strong black woman, because the strong Harriet Tubman and I'm using her because you threw out your past. If you think about Harriet Tubman, how many times does somebody go to Harriet, now you know you need to rest your feet. Harriet, you know you need to take care of yourself. I know you liberating and you setting us free, but anybody check in on Harriet. And that's why I say with the label. And then what also happens with this label is, and as I tell my students, this might be a Dr. Burtonism, is when men see the strong black woman, it's less of intimidation, but more of they don't need me.
Woo!
I'm not saying men are intimidated, but they have the perception of they don't need me. They're independent. And so what can I bring to them that they already don't have?
I can see some brothers being intimidated by that. I don't.
Come here.
I can't hear you, Liberty. You can't talk from the background and ain't got no mic.
I don't.
You just said something a little profound. I want the people to hear that. Get up on that mic and say that.
I feel like it affects dark-skinned women differently than light-skinned women. Like every example y'all gave was a dark-skinned woman in a position of power that had to be in a position of power.
Oh, well, now if we want to talk about light, I could take a whole nother angle of the light-skinned woman and what that means from this whole level. But that goes into whole colorism, and I don't know if I want to go into colorism.
That's a whole episode in itself.
A whole nother story.
But women in general, black women in general, experience this label. And I'll give you another label. Is an angry black woman.
Woo.
And how many times them labels are
started
thrown
out
on
with
us?
Why are you so aggressive?
Angry black woman, man.
Oh my
Right,
God,
why you
you're so aggressive.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, just like I was telling somebody, if you look, we were talking about this just on a podcast of how many of us talked with our hands and using our hands to talk. But then with other cultures, they become intimidated because I'm just like, and using my hands to talk.
But
y'all
they do the
get
same
it. But
thing.
y'all get it. Y'all not like, well, why you talking like that? Why you use a hand? But if I go elsewhere, it becomes a whole different label of who we are.
Yes, and yet they still do the same things. It's not in the same flowy, rizzy ways,
Right.
Because we got the swag, we got the, everything
We flow with
do
our
is
hands
just,
gestures.
Yes, everything
Be looking
we
like
do.
y'all throwing up gang signs.
Yeah, they get nervous.
They be like, they throwing up gang signs, arguing with me. The girl
To me, that must
throwing
be
up
somebody
gang
didn't
signs.
have a sister. See, I grew up with a sister. She did all that. None of that stuff intimidates me. I think, I don't know what Ken's talking about. For me as a man,
said I can see how some
as a man,
I ain't say me.
As a man, I want a woman who is strong. I want somebody who can catch me. I do want that. And a lot of what I don't want, I think this is what we get confused about. What I don't want to be in competition with my woman.
That's where I was.
And that's what I don't want. But I want, and I do know strong black women, when they come home, they want to come home to not have to be that strong. They want to be able to come home. And for a man, and I'm learning this, we have to look beyond that and just really care for and just be vulnerable and be transparent and loving towards her, because that's really what she wants. But sometimes we have to really get confused, because when I come home, I don't want to be in no debate. I don't want to be in all of that. And sometimes when you, men and women, when you come home, we bring all that stuff home to us, and we got to calm that down. But I think for the men that I know, the men that I hang with, we want strong women in our life, and I know we know each other's women, and they are very strong, and I like that, and I do. I haven't never thought of it like that, Dr. Burton, how that could actually be a double-edged sword, because the strong women, for example, my sister is super strong. My nephew got shot about 15 years ago, and he became a quadriplegic. My sister changed her whole life to take care of him, and we watched how strong she was in that. In so doing, I know that she needs also comfort to be taking care of herself, and so I think we need to really appreciate. And I never thought of being strong as being a bad thing for a woman, and for a man, as a black man, I think strong is implicit in being a black man. You cannot be a black man without being strong, and so I think that we need to kind of have that one with another, and that's really important to me.
Some weak black
that,
men out
one.
there, brother. I ain't gonna
There are. Listen, and those weak black men. And listen, I want to close with this.
Oh, yeah.
I have 4 daughters, and I would not want any of my daughters to be with a weak man. And the good thing about my daughters, they have a fine example of what a man is in their father. And my oldest daughter will tell a fella that. Well, my father didn't do that. So that is what's really important, to have those examples in our lives.
I agree.
Well,
Ken?
what makes a weak man?
A weak man.
What makes a weak man?
What makes a weak man?
While you ponder on that, I do want to say, when we think of the concept of a strong black man, and we look back in a historical sense, what was that movie with Denzel Washington and my girl, the dark-skinned one? What did I? 12 Years a Slave. No, that was not it.
Denzel was never in 12 Years a
You
Slave.
said,
No, it wasn't 12 Years a Slave. That's for sure.
what was it?
I forgot, but he like played baseball, and they had a son, and he
that was,
worked.
You talking about
August
John
Wilson.
Q? John Q with the baseball
No,
where he
that
had to
was
go to the
August
hospital.
Wilson.
No.
You talking Fences with
Fences.
yeah, that's August Wilson.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's the
Fences.
play. That was based on
on
a
the
play
play,
by
right.
August Wilson.
Right.
I always think about the scene when they're in the backyard and they're kind of arguing, but they're not.
With
They're
Viola
like more
Davis.
so. Yes,
Yeah.
Viola, my baby, Viola. I love her. I adore her. Oh my God. But yes, when they were having that scene in the backyard, they were going back and forth, and she was like, "I've been standing right here with you for this amount of years." And when we think about a strong black man who went to work, who took care of the family, paid everything.
He was a provider
For everyone. But we didn't really think about how taxing that was on that black man. It was never a question. It was just what he was supposed to do,
right.
what he was expected to do.
Right.
And so I love these conversations when it comes to being strong and mental health, because it goes both ways for both sexes.
Yeah.
Yes,
And how that, and I think about that with Fences, and how he lived in a dream, and because he was unable to achieve that dream, everything else hit against him. And he was never able to come out of what he had hoped to achieve. And so he went through daily life, still providing, still taking care, but he, had his baby on the side.
His escape. I just want to laugh.
Yeah.
Well,
He
well,
said,
you
"You
know,
think I want to laugh?" I'm sorry.
That was a movie when Viola had some serious crying snot coming out.
that was.
It was just running.
Well, that both of them. That was one of their better roles they had to play, and they really did very good.
I saw Fences at when Cleveland Playhouse was over here on 70. What was this?
Oh, right around the corner.
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yep, when Cleveland Playhouse used to be there, I saw Fences live there. Play.
I love it. So, what does a weak black man look like?
It's almost all the stuff we just talked about. A guy who don't want to be a provider, and when I say a provider for himself. I mean,
I got something to say, kid.
Yes.
I'm about to help you out just really quick. I've just felt like my mom. I'm just hitting people today.
know,
I'm
you
just
just tapping everybody.
clapping people up in the studio. But this is something that I realized, and I said this to somebody in dating, is, and I think of this when I think of weak, is security. And folks, and it's not security just financially, but when I'm out with you, I want to feel secure. I want to feel like I'm the only, but I also want to feel if something jump off, I know you got me. Like, you gonna take care of it. And I was joking, one of my friends the other day, I was on the phone with him, and somebody ran him off the road, just traffic thing. I was saying they ran him off the road, but traffic thing. And he went off, and I was like, oh, I like this side of you. I ain't never heard this side of you. Because in my mind, that was like, oh, okay, if something jump off, you got me. You got it in him. And I think
that's definitely a form of weakness. But that's because
people don't realize what security is.
That's a weak brother. If you don't feel secure, and that's why I say a person who don't have a way of providing for himself even. Because the way you build security and everything else is that. And that's meaning that either you got some kind of idea of what you want to do, some type of direction of where you want to go with your life, and all of that. Because you can't lead your woman or anybody if you don't have
if you don't know where you going.
Where you going.
You got
and that's the first one. Yeah.
What do you tell your sons to prevent them from not only being a weak black man, but to make sure that they are prepared to be providers?
The same thing I'm telling them now is to like have a plan about what you want to do with your life. The one thing I will say that when I said I met my wife in 30 years and I was coming back, you guys know how many businesses and opportunities and stuff that me and her done been through together because of the fact that I said, hey, I got a good idea. And I want to do something. And she said, might have thought they were bad ideas, but went along with it anyway. You see what I mean? Or I would have to take a job because the business failed and now I got to go work.
But you was willing to do that.
I was willing to do that. I'll go do it. But I would come home about 30 days or a month later like, hey.
I got a new idea.
And I think I can make more money on this than doing this job they paying me to do. And we kind of went that way. But my point is, if I didn't have any direction, if I didn't have that thing in me that made her feel as if, okay, this may work, then that's it. So that's what I call a weak brother. So we got 5 minutes. And what I want to do, Latif, we're going to go around. End of the year, what you got to say, last show, Phillips. We can deal with Burton, myself, Uni. You're going to close us out and we out of here.
Yo, I just want to, wish everybody a happy holiday. And just the one thing on you can't be smart and stupid at the same time. Sharon Moore got fired, but the lady that told is still employed with Michigan.
She ain't do nothing.
So that goes back to what you said in that employee-supervisor dynamic. And it even said in his contract that that person can't be fired for telling. So
she didn't do nothing. She told.
She did exactly what she was told to do.
He's still, again, another obvious reason why he's stupid. All right, go ahead, Phillips.
Wait. But does her pay change? Does it go back? Does it retract back to what it was before the relationship started? He gave her that pay.
It was somebody else who told.
No, she told. She told.
Oh, she told.
She's the one that told and brought it to their attention. Mm-hmm. Oh, and she's still employed. And he's not.
Well, we got to do another one. How you can be smart and keep your job. Go ahead, Phillips.
How you can be dumb and keep your job.
No, she was smart. She told and kept her job.
Well, she
need to tell us how you did that.
She went from 50,000 to 90,000 to 99,000.
Yeah,
and she still got a job.
And she still got a job. We need to know what she's doing over there. Go ahead, Phillips.
All she probably did was win. I was
white crocodile tears.
I just want to thank God we made it through another year. 2025 went by very fast. For me, at least, I can't believe that we're getting ready for 2026. I think that we should have a collective goal to make sure we come together as a community and really make a difference in 2026 in everything and every aspect that we're doing. And I thank God for this platform, Ken, that you have, that you're making a difference with this voice.
All right, Dr. Burton.
Yes, 2025. It has been a year of transitions that I was not expecting, but they have been good, bad, and different. And so looking forward to 2026 and new opportunities, new things that will happen. Wishing everybody a happy holiday season. And less in January. I know y'all like to set goals, but let's try to do something that's going to last beyond January 15th.
Or January 2nd. Can we get past January 2nd? Say we're going to do it and actually do it.
And actually do it. But stick to it. What's the book that says 30 days is a habit, 90 days is a lifestyle? So making some lifestyle changes in 2026. And specifically, as the pastor said, leading towards improvement, advancing our community, letting us love on one another. 2026, let's just love.
I agree
appreciate
with
that.
everything Dr. Burton
I
said.
feel like I should go because this is your show. You need to
Go
go
ahead.
last.
No,
I'm
I was
just
going to let
saying.
you close it out, but go ahead.
Like, it just makes
No, it's no
sense
biggie.
to me.
Go ahead.
If you black, celebrate Kwanzaa. I'm gonna say that. If you are a black man and you are young, please, like Mr. Kenn Dowell said, think about your future. Think about what that would look like. Understand that, I understand economics is way different than it was when your grandpappy was alive taking care of everything. I do. I get it. I get why 50-50 is a thing. However, don't take advantage. Women, have compassion. Please give a little grace. Just give a little grace, and not only to others around you, but to yourself as well. That message that you just shared, I'm going to take that as confirmation on what I've been praying about, because I literally was just saying I'm going to fast for the first quarter of the year. So thank you, Doctor. I appreciate that. And Happy New Year and holidays, everybody. Ken.
Happy New Year to everybody. This is our last show of the year. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in to our radio program. Dr. Burton, I want to thank you for being our co-host and coming on and going through this journey with me. DJ True or Latif for always doing what we doing with this video. Aaron Phillips, Pastor Phillips is our guy who always filling in when we need him to fill in. And so I want to thank everybody. I want everybody out there to be safe. Look forward to our new programs we got coming up next year. We have a lot of things happening on this Saturday. If you're still listening, this Saturday at 11 to 4 o'clock, we're going to be down at the Galleria, and we're going to be giving away toys to kids and people who are in need. But you must be registered to do that. So if you're not registered, don't show up. Don't show up. All right? Just don't show up. All right? But everybody else, we want to thank you. Have a very,
You
very
can
Merry
show,
Christmas.
but don't show expecting toys.
You're not gonna get no toys. I don't even want to be mean like that. It just I'm giving you the advice, man. If you ain't registered, don't even
Do
come.
not expect toys. Do not.
Don't
Do not.
show, he said.
Don't even show. Hey, we want to thank Liberty for tuning in. She's our new person. And to everybody, happy holidays, happy New Year. Stay safe. And until next time, peace.